pathwaysoflight.org. Welcome to the reading, A Course in Miracles Workbook Lesson 230, Insights. Now will I seek and find the peace of God. This lesson promises that if I call on God, I will find the peace He gave. The implication is that if I am not experiencing peace, I must be calling on the ego. The ego judges everything because that is how it maintains the appearance of separation. As it says in What is Forgiveness? An unforgiving thought must judge, and to hold unforgiveness in place, the judgment must not be raised to question. But if I would experience forgiveness, I must be willing to accept truth as it is rather than judge against it and reject it. This world was made as a place where truth is rejected. So it is not surprising that judgment is part of our habit of thinking. It is a habit to be undone if we would experience peace. With every judgment, we call upon the ego. Each time we release judgment, each time we recognize there is nothing to judge, we call upon God and open our awareness to the peace that has always been ours. Finding the peace of God is not complicated. It need not be a long, drawn-out process. It is only our lack of willingness to give up our identification with the ego thought system that delays the experience of God's peace. Some part of our mind believes that judgment has some value greater than the love of God. Who in their right mind would value anything more than the love of God? No one. This world is a world of insanity, of belief in what could never be real or true. The good news is insanity is not permanent because illusions could never be permanent. There remains within our mind the link that forever reminds us of our source, our creator. It is to this link that we must turn to receive the correction that shows us what is real and what is unreal. We have had a mistaken perception of reality, but it is correctable. Each time we turn to the means for correction, we move a step closer to experiencing the peace given us in our creation. Today, I dedicate again to practicing bringing all my thoughts of fear and guilt, whatever their form, to the Holy Spirit in my mind for His gentle correction. Because our minds are powerful, what we seek for, we find. The thoughts we hold in our minds are then reflected in the world. As we believe, so we see. The Course tells us that the way to find peace is to truly desire peace. As we truly seek for peace, we will find it. Peace is right there in our minds, waiting for our acceptance. So it is our willingness to accept the peace of God that we are working with. The Course tells us we need just a little willingness. The Holy Spirit will take that willingness gladly and lead us to the peace of God. Peace is ours eternally. We cannot lose what is part of our identity. As we are willing to quiet our minds of all the ego's raucous thoughts, we will be led to peace. Holy Spirit, I am willing to quiet my mind today and be led to the experience of God's peace. Peace is all I want. I was asking for peace this morning, but I was having a hard time accepting. As I allowed my thoughts to flow through, I saw some of the things that I was choosing instead of peace. I gave those to the Holy Spirit and asked for another way to see them. Then I went back and reread the lesson. I could see clearly that peace had been in me all along. But like a weed choked garden with a perfect but hidden flower at its center, I couldn't see my bloom of perfect peace for all the weeds. As soon as I started pulling the weeds from my mind and giving them to the Holy Spirit, I was able to recognize and enjoy the peace God placed in my heart when He created me. I can cover up what God created and refuse to acknowledge it, but thankfully, I can't change it or destroy it. pathwaysoflight.org